Hi everyone, I was just getting ready to make some appetizers this morning for a Halloween party I'm going to this evening, and so I thought I would just share it with you and maybe give you some ideas in case you have any parties that you're going to for the holidays. So today we're making two simple recipes. The first one is going to be a taco roll up, so it'll be just a tortilla rolled with a taco flavored filling, and then there's going to be a cheese ball. So for the first one, the taco roll up, I have all of our ingredients right here. It's a super simple recipe. Like I said, you just need some taco shells, sour cream. It was supposed to be 2 cups of cheddar cheese, but I only have cheddar jack, so that'll work just fine. A block of cream cheese, some green chilies, and then some taco seasoning. I have some homemade taco seasoning that we're going to use today. Okay, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. So first we did set the cream cheese out a while because you do want it to be softened cream cheese. So we're going to just mix all of our ingredients in this large bowl here first. So I'm going to take my cream cheese and just open it up and put the whole thing in the bowl. All right, and then after our cream cheese we need 16 ounces of sour cream. Now you can just buy the 16-ounce container, but I like to buy these large containers at Costco. So I'm just gonna measure out 2 cups of sour cream. And the spoon has sour cream on it already because I was stirring it up just to make sure it wasn't running before we used it. So. Right. There's our first cup. 1 cup is equal to 8 ounces, so that's why I'm using 2 cups of sour cream, because the recipe calls for 16 ounces. These are a really great appetizer if you like the taco flavor, I guess. It doesn't have any meat in it, of course, but it's a really great appetizer. I find that our family really enjoys it, so that's what I like to. This is one of my go-tos whenever we have a party we're going to and we need to bring an appetizer with us. Okay, next we're gonna add in 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. Like I said, it was supposed to be cheddar, but we were out of cheddar at home and I just wanted to use what I had. And so we have this cheddar jack cheese, which is close enough. It's 2 cups. So we're gonna put this whole bag in here. Okay, right. Next, the recipe calls for 1 4-ounce can of green chilies. So I opened up this can and drained it already. It is chopped green chilies. So hopefully you can see that. So I'm just gonna pour the whole can in. All right, it does call for black olives, but no one in my family really enjoys black olives, so I always leave that out of the recipe. And then it also calls for green onions, but I am just not big on putting green onions into stuff, so I leave that out also. All right, so the next thing it calls for is 1 package of taco seasoning, or 1 1/4 ounces. And so like I said, we're gonna use this homemade taco seasoning that I have, and I'm just gonna use a tablespoon of it. All right, so now we're just ready to mix it all up. This probably wasn't a very good spoon to choose to mix. It's great for getting stuff out of containers and filling measuring cups, but it's not the greatest when you need to mix something. Might be even better if I get out my mixer. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna get out my hand mixer. All right, now that we have this nice and mixed up, it's all incorporated in there, we're gonna put it on our flour tortillas. So I'm just gonna use a cutting board. I buy these at Costco also, so it's a large pack of 2. So that's why it looks probably a little funny to some people. This recipe usually does about 8 of these tortillas. Maybe just scoop a little bit on there. Spread it all around, make sure you cover everything. Nice. Try to get it nice and even all around. Sometimes it's a little hard with the chunks in it, but that's all right. And then you just roll it up as tight as you can. And don't push too hard or all the good stuff will come out. So I'm just gonna roll it. And then I'm gonna sit it on this plate I have over here, because then it needs to go in the fridge for a while, and once it gets good and cold, then we'll cut them apart. I have them all rolled up, and now we're gonna cover them in Saran Wrap and stick them in the fridge and let them get nice and cold and a little more firm so that we can cut them. So I'll show you when I bring them back out later and cut them up. Okay, next up we're gonna make a pumpkin shaped cheese ball. And so for that, all you need is a block of cream cheese. Once again, it needs to be set out and softened. It's pretty cold today, so I don't think these got as soft as I was anticipating, so we'll have to use our hand mixer again. But make sure you let the cream cheese set out long enough to get nice and soft, or pop it in the microwave, that works too. Then you need 8 ounces of a vegetable cream cheese, 2 cups of cheddar cheese, 1 red bell pepper, and then you're gonna use some spicy ranch mix. I made one of these cheese balls not too long ago, so I have some left over. If you buy a packet like this, you don't use much out of it. It's just 2 tablespoons, so usually there's some left over. Okay, so let's get to doing this. First, we're gonna cut up our red pepper. So I've cleaned off my cutting board, just gonna use the same one. And I've washed this pepper already. So I'm gonna cut it nice and fine because it's going inside the cheese ball. So you want it to be tiny little pieces so it's really easy to eat. And you kind of get the flavor, and a little bit of crunch, but not a lot of crunch. You don't want a really big bite in it. I do have a vegetable chopper, but I just find it easier to do this by hand because I know exactly how small I want it. All right, so those are nice and tiny now, just the way I like them. Not too small, but they're pretty small. Perfect for a cheese ball, I think. Okay, now we're gonna take our bowl that we're mixing everything in. We're gonna combine our cream cheeses first. There's one. Next, we're gonna add in our spicy ranch, Hidden Valley Ranch mix. And we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of it. It's probably about what I have in here. It's probably about 2 tablespoons. Should I even wanna bother measuring it? I think I'm just gonna pour in what I have left. It's good enough. And then we're going to use our red pepper. And it says to use 1 cup of the cheddar cheese. I'm just going to eyeball it and pour about half in. That's good. Okay. And mix it all up. Make sure I got all that seasoning mixed in. I don't want anybody to get a large bite of that. Looks pretty good to me. So there it is mixed up. Now we're gonna get out some cling wrap to form our cheese ball. We're gonna spread some of this cheese. Spread it out nicely, and then we're gonna put the cheese ball right on top of it. With cheesy mixture that will become a cheese ball. Place that right on top. Now we're going to try to, it's not quite round enough yet, but make it a little more round, and then I'm going to sprinkle the rest of the cheese on the sides and the top. Try to get it covered all the way. That's what'll make it look like a pumpkin being yellow from the cheese, orangish yellow, whatever you want to call it. Right. All right. I'm gonna try to wrap it up in the shape of a ball first. And then I have some rubber bands. I set them right over here. I just have 4, so hopefully this will work. Because we want to give it lines like a pumpkin has. So we'll put them. I could only find these small rubber bands, so hopefully they work. The blue ones were nice and large, but the others not so much. This one's really tiny. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if we can get it over it or if it's gonna break on us. If it breaks, we might have to improvise with something else. Oh. All right, I got it. All right, so now I'm gonna kind of form it. I don't know if you can tell, but it's gonna look like a pumpkin once it all settles. Do you see how it's got the sides? I'm gonna stick that in the fridge until it gets good and cold, and then I'll come back and show you guys what the final product looks like. Thanks. Hi everyone, so I'm back after our appetizers have spent a little while in the fridge, and now I'm ready to get them all ready to take to our party. So first thing I'm gonna do is we have our tortilla roll-ups, and I'm just gonna open them up and I'm gonna cut them into slices. And then we're just gonna put them on these little tray. This little tray I have here, it's just a cheap tray I got at the Dollar Tree, I don't know, for a party a while ago, and I continue to use it to this day. So that's what I'm gonna put them on. On these, I usually cut the ends off. I could probably do something different, but the ends usually don't have a lot in them, so I cut them off and I just like to eat them myself. So I set them aside and save them for later to eat. And then these I cut just about that size. That's about how thick I cut them. And then I just lay them on the tray like that so they look nice. So I'm just going to do that with all of them. I like to use a nice sharp knife. They sit up a little bit so they're not near as soft, but you still have to be super gentle when cutting them so that you don't smash it. So I'm just gonna cut them like that, and then I'll place them on this tray over here. And you can see I didn't get it rolled very well. You don't want them to look like that. It'll be fine, it's just my family. They won't mind. So, all right, I'm gonna get these all cut up. So there you have it with the taco tortilla roll-ups. It made a double layer. I know it's not the best presentation probably, but they do taste really great. And I do like to serve them with some salsa on the side. I'll just stick a bowl of salsa out and they can put a little bit of that on their plate to dip those in. So those will be great. Now let's see how our cheese ball turned out. Actually, I'm not sure if it's been long enough. It's still pretty soft, and it looks like I didn't use enough cheese. So I did find a thing of cheddar cheese in the fridge. So I think I might try to add that to put some of this cheese down before I stick that cheese ball on here again. Should have used more cheese, I guess. Wasn't quite sure. I didn't want to overdo the cheese. So I ended up underdoing it, which is fine. Add some more. Hopefully I can see my lines whenever I put the rubber bands back on. I'll put some around it, so when I pull up the sides, it'll stick to it. So here we go. Just like little chunks of it. Might as well use it all. So, okay. Let's wrap it back up. bread size. Sometimes I save those, sometimes I don't. Just depends if I think that I'll find a use for them. And today, my golly, I have a use for them. We're gonna make this rubber band tight. Stick it through there. Tighten it. There we go. Make this one a little tighter. On the bottom. There we go. There we go. This time the rubber band is making deeper indentions. So we're getting ready to leave. So I'm gonna pop this in the freezer for a little bit. I'll clean this pan back up and then I'll put it on there when we get there. And I'll make sure to add a picture so you can see what it looked like. As always, thank you for hanging out with me and spending some time in my kitchen. I hope you all have a good day.